Blindsided, just one day after news of Kevin Stefferson's arrest for shoplifting comes the stunning revelation he was busted a day earlier for marijuana possession. Creature comforts, a gift of goats tonight for a Bristol family who recently lost several animals to a dog attack.
We have great members. Everyone stepped up super quick and everyone donated.
Thin ice, tragedy in South Bend today after a Dowagiac man decided to spend his afternoon ice fishing. I'm Terry McFadden, and this is News Center 16 at 11.
You're watching WNDU TV. News Center 16 at 11 starts now.
And we start with the very latest information on a story we've been following all day. Officials have identified the man who died after a water rescue in South Bend. Thanks for joining us. I'm Terry McFadden. The Indiana DNR tells us 43-year-old Leonard Baldwin of Dowagiac was pulled from the Pinhook Lagoon at around 4 p.m. He was taken to the hospital but died just after 4:45. Rescue crews were first called to Pinhook Park around 3 p.m. Witnesses say Baldwin was ice fishing and fell through that ice. He'd been underwater for around an hour. Firefighters tell us that it's typically safe to go ice fishing when the ice is 4 inches thick. The ice at Pinhook was about 2 inches thick.
When it comes to ice fishing, to my knowledge, 4 inches ice and more is safe, and definitely not after the week we've had. Standing water on top of the ice is going to be an unsafe situation. I believe we were right around about 2 inches of very soft ice. Our guys were falling through, our rescuers were falling through as they were walking out there.
Baldwin's death has been ruled accidental. Emergency responders want to make sure you know a few things before going out on ice. And first and foremost, the DNR says no ice is safe ice. But if you choose to go out, at least 4 inches is recommended for safe ice fishing, 5 inches for snowmobiling. If you don't know how deep it is or how thick that ice is, don't go out. Also wear life jackets or flotation gear and carry ice hooks and rope gear. Well, more trouble for Notre Dame wide receiver Kevin Stefferson. News broke today that Stefferson faces additional charges after being arrested last Friday. Eli Gain joins us in the studio with more. Eli.
Yeah, Terry, just 2 days after we found out that Stefferson and teammate C.J. Holmes were arrested for shoplifting, new charges came out today for a completely non-related incident involving Stefferson. Now, last Thursday morning, before that shoplifting incident on Friday, Stefferson was pulled over in Marshall County for speeding on US 31. During that stop, officers found that Stefferson was driving without a valid license, and they also found that he was in possession of marijuana. And it has not been a very good year for the Notre Dame wideout. Let's look at a timeline. This dates back to August of last year when he was one of the 5 players arrested in Fulton County, where he was first charged with possession of marijuana. He didn't miss any time during the season and was second on the team in receiving. Fast forward to this year. Before this season, News Center 16 broke the story that he would sit out the first 4 games of the year for showing a lack of traits that were implemented by head coach Brian Kelly. And now you look at just this month alone, just a day apart from each other, charged with possession of marijuana, speeding, and driving without a valid license. All of that before being arrested last Friday for shoplifting. He was then suspended indefinitely from the team. So not even within 24 hours, 2 incidents like this is just unfathomable to even think about him being able to do that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, and no word about his future with the program.
Yeah, no, not at all. You're expecting to get more news of that after the bowl game. Brian Kelly says he's really in no rush right now. The team has no further comment. The university is handling it all privately, but I think it is safe to say we've probably seen the last of Stefferson in blue and gold.
Yeah. More than likely. All right. Thanks, Eli. Well, if you're hitting the roads or skies this weekend, you're definitely not alone out there. Quite a few people got a jump start on their holiday travel plans earlier today. Here's the scene at O'Hare International in Chicago as a number of travelers braved the crowds to get to their holiday destinations. And this year, more people are planning to hit the skies than in 2016. 51 million people are expected to fly to destinations this Christmas and New Year's. That's up more than 3% from last year. Well, if you're waiting until tomorrow to hit the road, you could run into some snow. But Mike, are we talking about a lot of snow here?
No, Terry, we're not talking about a lot, but it is looking like it's coming a little farther north than originally thought into our southern counties. As a matter of fact, here's where Future Track is showing in our travel forecast the light snow by 5 a.m. tomorrow. That's basically everywhere from Plymouth southward. Now, we would be on the far northern fringe, but they could get an inch down around Kokomo. This is late tonight, first thing tomorrow. You'll see how quickly it moves away, though. It quickly moves off to the east, and it's gone by noon, and by later in the day, it's long gone. In fact, we'll probably be seeing some peaks of sunshine. A little bit colder air coming in as we head through tomorrow night. It stays dry tomorrow night if you're traveling, unless you're going west. And that snow off to the west of us at 7 a.m. Sunday comes this way. Light snow much of the day on Sunday after about 9 or 10 a.m. And then we see lake effect snow showers continuing behind this system as we head into the end of the day on Sunday. So it does look like probably 1 to 3 inches of snow coming our way during the day Sunday into Christmas Eve itself. We'll have your 7-day forecast show you that cold air for next week coming up.
Thank you, Mike. Tonight, Santa made an early stop at a Bristol family's home to deliver 3 baby goats. This just a little over 2 weeks after 2 dogs killed 9 of their farm animals. News Center 16's Jen Cardone was there for the special delivery. So, Jen, the kids had no idea this was happening, right?
Yeah, not a clue, Terry. And when members of the Elkhart County Lost and Found Pets Facebook group heard about the family's loss of the animals, they wanted to step up and help. And tonight, they delivered 3 baby goats from Indy to help this family heal. A special holiday delivery at Megan Knapp's home.
Ready? Okay.
Those are cute, Mommy.
Well, these people here gave them to us. They wanted to surprise you guys. The kids are so happy. You know, someone stepped up to do something for them, and they didn't have to do that. I'm truly blessed. That's amazing. Take it, go sit down and pet it.
The surprise made possible by multiple people from Elkhart County Lost and Found Pets.
When you hear sad stories, everyone wants to come together just to make a difference, make things better, and it's really helpful when the community can pull something like this off.
We kind of knew the whole story from the beginning, and so it was just, I think it touched all of our hearts, and we just needed to step up and do something.
A chase and a bleat.
I didn't think they were going to catch him at first, and they chased him down, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
Even injured Ember made her way to check things out.
She has to go back to the vet on Thursday, and I hope that everything's okay. And if it's not, I don't feel like I can't handle it anymore, because that's kind of where I was at.
New friends bonding with old ones and with the kids.
You can see the kids, they love him. Well, what does he look like? Look at his eyes.
Brownie?
Brownie? Okay.
Capturing the moment, eternally grateful.
A lot of people really just stepped up, and, you know, they're very compassionate. It's amazing.
The group tells me it only took about 24 hours for them to raise the funds to buy the goats, and there was $700 left over for Megan to use to take care of the other animals who survived, like goats Coral and Ember. And last week, Ember wasn't doing very well, and Megan even feared that she'd have to put her down, but now that might not be the case.
All right, and Jen, the dog owner has not been cited for this.
Actually, the dog owner has now been cited.
Okay.
Police tell us this person was issued an animal restraint and animal at large violation, but the police have not identified that person to us at this time.
All right. Jen, thanks a lot. Well, new tonight, a special honor for a man who made a difference in the John Glenn School Corporation. Dan Fortlander, the longtime and beloved band director at John Glenn, died suddenly in June. At tonight's basketball game, Fortlander's family was given the Falcon Award on his behalf. Now, each year, the award is given to someone who's dedicated to helping the athletic department. Fortlander was a constant presence in the district and a faculty member that meant so much to so many. We talked to Fortlander's family, and they said it's hard to see the band perform without him.
It's just something that we feel like he would want, and he deserved.
Fortlander worked for the district for 32 years and directed every band in the school district. Tonight, we're getting answers about that deadly hit and run in Elkhart. In the last week, we've heard from a lot of you out there about the couple charged in connection with the August hit and run. County Prosecutor Vicki Becker says she can't charge people based on how she feels they should be punished. She has to match the evidence and facts of the case to the laws that apply.
we must follow Indiana law. We can't just make it up. We can't just respond and say, hey, out of fairness, somebody gets XYZ.
Penelope and Leonard Grossweiler face charges in connection with the hit and run that killed 3 pedestrians August 26th in Elkhart. They're due in court next Thursday for initial hearings. Your paycheck could be bigger come February, according to President Trump. The president is celebrating this weekend after signing his tax reform bill into law. The president fulfilled his promise of signing the tax bill into law before Christmas. He says the $1.5 trillion tax overhaul is the most important bill he's signed. The president claims the bill will sell itself in February when people see more money in their paychecks.
Everything in here is really tremendous things for businesses, for people, for the middle class.
Bill also lowers the corporate tax rate to 21% and opens the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge for oil and gas drilling. In addition, it eliminates the Obamacare requirement that Americans must buy health insurance. And new tonight, a Mishawaka Elementary School student is on a mission. Hums Elementary second grader Nora Plonsky wants to make sure no kids are lonely on the playground, so she's trying to raise money to build a buddy bench. There's a simple idea behind it. Kids sit on the bench when they're looking for someone to play with, and if other kids see someone sitting alone, they can ask him or her to play. Students are looking for plastic caps and lids, and once they get 500 pounds of plastic, they'll exchange them for a bench. Nora says they're doing pretty well so far. They've collected over 260 pounds of plastic.
I've seen a lot of lonely kids at recess, so I thought it would be nice to do it at my school.
And if you want to help, you can drop off donations at any school city of Mishawaka Elementary School. Coming up, Lifting Spirits. A community comes out in force to help a family falling on hard times. Hear the Patterson story and learn how you can help them this holiday season next. Plus, Eli has highlights from some local high school hoops matchups, a mini edition of the Roundup coming up later in sports.
You're watching WNDU TV, News Center 16 at 11.